be able to help. And then if there's a need for relocation, we can relocate. If there's a need for foster parents, and then that's what we do. Sometimes they can be even enrolled into skills because it can be a lot.
Do you think there are adequate penalties for individuals and businesses found breaching child labor laws?
Yes.
On paper.
On paper. That's what it is.
Who should be held responsible?
Yeah.
On paper. That's the only thing. And
who are, or which institutions, what authorities are responsible to ensure that these people be brought to book for such actions?
The first, for the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs.
Okay.
Because the ministry is the top body when it comes to all of this. So the ministry, FSU, there's an FSU at all police stations, main point, and then the police. Yes, the police, because if most of the times when cases of child labor, when cases of child protection comes up, when we go to the police, they are responsible to see how best they, they do their findings. And then the judiciary as well, because when we have a case of child labor, example, the case he was trying to say, go to the judiciary and see how best they would be able to fight for the child. Maybe you're not going to get in and again, but you go able for get a place where you go stay free from the abuse that he was open to, and then things get better. But the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, FSU, and then the police.
Mr. Minister, let me bring you in.
Sure.
Transmission and distribution losses, remain a challenge in the energy sector. And every time we bring you up here, you talk about the illegal connection, electricity theft. It's an issue, affecting revenue generation, even within the limited resources we have to generate electricity. You're having a project like this, aren't you concerned that things of electricity theft, and even people stealing the physical cables and these solar panels will be a thing or a challenge to EDSA?
It's a challenge to us all. I mean, and so we don't have that much transmission loss, but we have a lot of distribution loss, and we have a lot of what's called commercial loss in the distribution network. And what we term commercial loss is really the theft or the abstraction, illegal abstraction of electricity. And that's a constant fight. You have businesses, large businesses, small businesses that don't pay for electricity. They bypass the meters, they break the seals, they do all sorts of things. They have fake meter connections. Sometimes you have two lines coming in. One line goes to the meter, and then the other feed goes to the heavy equipment in their businesses. So it's an ever growing issue. But EDSA has actually started a revenue enhancement program where they go from business to business. They take a look at their bills over a few months. They do an analysis, and then they can tell, well, this doesn't make sense. And so they pay a visit to the site. They actually did a private sector revenue enhancement program, and that ran for about 2 months, and you can believe that they were able to recover $300,000 in that short time. So, but there's room for improvement. EDSA is thinking of taking that revenue enhancement program now into the provinces, because we know that the provincial towns also suffer from huge amounts of losses because of commercial abstraction of electricity. So they aim to do that. I mean, I think Bo, Kenema, Makeni, Mabruka, all of these towns, Kono, all of these towns, when you look at the losses that we experience it's in excess of 60%. So for every dollar you put in, you're losing 60 American cents, which is really bad. So the revenue enhancement program is running. We hope to institute the fast track court again, because one of the issues, I just spoke about this at another station, is when you catch someone, you don't want to clog up the judicial system with all of these electrical thefts, because they're going to be huge numbers. So you want a really way to address these very quickly. You get charged, you get fined, you serve a sentence depending on the severity of the offense. I think the most severe case is when you go illegally, you actually chop cables and go sell. And that's one of the biggest issues we face. Once you have areas that do not have electricity, these gangs go around cutting copper cables, cutting aluminum cables, bundling them up and sending them as scrap or to vendors who buy this. And that's cost EDSA, that's cost government quite a bit of money. So it's not only the losses, it's also the theft and they call it vandalism. It's more theft because it's these people are stealing and selling the equipment and the cables that EDSA bought for millions and millions of dollars for cents and pennies. So that's an ongoing work that we need to address. We had started negotiations and conversations with the military for them to start patrolling certain installations that are vulnerable, so that we will be able to protect and prevent this theft. So all of this is going on, but we really need to change our attitudes as citizens when it comes to the equipment. The equipment that's out there belongs to us all. It belongs to Sierra Leoneans. It's not a foreign company or a foreign country or America or England or Japan that owns it. They helped us build it, but it's ours. So we need to protect it and we need to preserve it, and we need to make sure that as Sierra Leoneans, we are doing the right thing when it comes to these devices. It comes to paying our electricity bills, and that will go a long way to making sure that Sierra Leone actually advances. Otherwise, it's a
Mr. Minister,
non-ending.
Consumers often express concern when it comes to high tariff.
Yes.
You know, can the public expect more affordable electricity? Because we are now, you know, using renewable energy.
Yes.
People in that area would then now say, we know they buy fuel for these lights. Now God, they send the lights from the sun, so we expect them to be cheap. Would that be the case?
Well, yes, that's the whole idea. So what we're trying to do is to make the share of renewables in the system more than the share of thermal plants. When I say renewables, we're talking about solar power, like the Respite project. We're talking about hydropower, like the Bumuna project. So there are several hydro projects potentials that are getting built. There's several solar projects that are getting built, and wind. And we have wind turbines being built on Bont Island right now. So we're trying to increase the amount of renewable generation, which will eventually bring down the average cost of power, and that will get translated onto the consumers in lower tariffs.
Mr. Minister, the last time we hosted you, you did mention that Sierra Leone owes up to $100 million to our power suppliers, and including almost $50 million to the car power ship. Have we cleared these debts?
We are working on clearing it month by month, and I know that there's going to be a payment back to Kapara probably quite soon. I had a visit from Planet Solar, who actually have a total of about 45 megawatts of installed solar power around the country. We also owe them, but I understand that the Ministry of Finance had actually processing payment to them. So it's a work in progress. EDSA is also on month by month paying. They're actually paying. They're paying Kappa, they're paying Planet Solar, they're paying CLSG. But the issue is it's not balanced. The revenue you get doesn't match up with the expense you incur to buy the power. So we really need to catch up. Yes, it sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but we know that the efficiency of the system is going to get better. The ability to have so many holes in the system is going to be less. We're going to lock all of these holes that give people the advantage of either stealing or abstracting or taking electricity for free. We're going to increase the security of the network by making sure that we have adequate security and no one is going to breach those. So we are doing everything on all fronts, and that's why it seems like a lot. There's a lot of things at every different stage of the value chain that we're doing, and that we're hoping that eventually we'll get to a point where you wouldn't have to think or worry about electricity. You wouldn't be talking about blackouts, and we're making sure that...
What is the realistic timeline for that?
Well, as I explained the last time I was here, I was very frank, and I told you that I spoke about the respite project. I said if you go to Newton, it's being built, it's getting completed. Now it's done. It's generating electricity. In fact, yesterday afternoon, 10 in the morning, Newton was producing about 12 megawatts. Bumuna was producing about 9. CLHD had some amount of electricity. So it's happening already. We spoke about the NAND project, which is going to be another big contribution to our generation base load power. That will be a gas-powered turbine installation. That's under construction in Kisi, and that will give us 100 megawatts when it's done. So I am very confident, and I'm very hopeful, confident really, that will get completed on time next year. And the power situation will generally be 100%, 150% better.
The question is, if the government is already struggling to pay our existing suppliers, will it not get worse? How will it finance its future generation projects without getting into even bigger debts?
No, so that's the whole point. It's not just bringing in generation. It's not just it's a number of things at the same time that are going to make the system work, right? We're going to increase revenues. We're going to reduce losses. That's the whole point. We're going to EDSA is going to transition and transform. We're going to bring a utility concessionaire who's going to run the system efficiently. We're going to provide, everyone is going to have prepaid meters. We're going to have smart meters, and in some instances a smart network. We're going to monitor all the substations, so you know how much power is going into the substation, how much power comes out, how much power goes to the feeders. So you can track by all of those interventions. You can track where power is being abstracted, where power is being lost. You cannot, when we have all those meters in place, you cannot mess up or tangle with them because it will shut down your electricity. We're going to have constant monitoring of homes and businesses to make sure that there's no abstraction. We're going to screen our employees to make sure that the right employees are in place, because we don't want any people who are going to do a double duty as EDSA workers and as private contractors by abstracting and helping consumers and businesses steal power. So it's a work in progress on several fronts, and that's the only way you can attack a problem as big as this that has created these huge amounts of arrears.
And Mr. Minister, how will the ministry ensure transparency and accountability
that's a good question.
In the implementation of a project or major energy project such as this?
Transparency and accountability comes from making sure that so the World Bank gave us the funds for the project. We went out and we procured the contractors, and there were monthly meetings, and they made sure, in fact, we made savings on the project, and so there are constant monthly. They had also an engineer in charge who was monitoring construction, who was making sure that the contractor wasn't was providing what was required by the specs. So we did everything we could to make sure that we were getting what we paid for and not getting less. But when you talk about transparency within the sector, one of the things we're going to now institute, it's what's called a collection account. We are in the process of, we have developed the TRR, we've developed the manual, we're going to institute it. Basically, when you pay for electricity, that money will go into an account, and then you can actually get a sense of all the revenues. Everybody gets revenue coming in, and once the revenue is in there, the ability to pay can be determined by an independent agent, and that agent will now, based upon the amount of energy, some kind of formula, will transparently pay each of these IPPs, the independent power producers. So it will no longer be a case of working in the dark. You don't know how much money is coming in. You have an idea, but you don't know who is getting paid, how they're getting paid. It will be quite transparent to everyone. I provided 100 megawatts of power for May. I provided 20 megawatts, even though we don't have enough revenue to pay all of you. But based upon that proportion of energy that came in, you'll be paid. And you'll know that there's no one is going to game the system and pay out a favorite contractor. So that's the whole idea, bring in that level of transparency, bring in that level of efficiency so that revenues rise, losses reduce, and then we will get into a point where we won't need government subventions, we won't deprive government budgets for education or health, paying large sums to just subsidize and to cover the theft that we are facing in energy. So that's really where we need to get to.
Fatima, as we round off, you explained earlier that, reporting child labor cases can be difficult. You approach the police, they'll be lackadaisical with how they handle these cases. So for an ordinary citizen who witnesses, a case of child labor or child exploitation, what practical steps will that person take when, the PRO of the Children's Forum Network is having problem accessing police or having the attention of police? An ordinary citizen like me, how would I get the attention of the police and say, listen, I've witnessed a child labor issue here, and I would like you to, turn your attention to this and investigate thoroughly and see what you can do?
So it has been made easy when you have a case of such. Go to the police. There is an FSU department in the police station that handle cases of such, and then you would be attended to. And so if the cases reach the FSU desk, and then if they see how intense it is, they can call on the attention of the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, and then the ministry will come in and see how best they would be able to make it better.
And then finally from me, what will be your appeal to government, to development partners, to the parents and young people themselves?
So first of all, to the government, yes, we're happy. We appreciate the Child Rights Act, but there is more to be done, because when we talk about a law, it's not just something that should be on paper. A law should be implemented. A law should be, we should practice it and see how best to be able to protect children. So it is important for them to put strict measures in place, because they are the, top of the mountain. They are seeing everything. So it is important for them to see how best they would be able to put strict measures in place, not just by laying down the laws. So what was being done for the Child Marriage Act 2024 is that the law was being broken down into simpler form for the understanding of children, most especially children that cannot read and that cannot write. So I think some things to be done to the other laws when it comes to children's laws would be able to break down the bigger jargons and see how best to be able to understand it. And I think that's one step that should be taken in ensuring the message go cut across Sierra Leone. And then for our parents, neglect is one of the biggest things we're facing in Sierra Leone when it comes to the issues of child protection. So it's important to harvest. My mama can always say, you are my bank. And if you're my bank, when I invest, and then in return I should see, even if you don't invest in me, but let the community, let the society knows that yes, I did my best in training you up, and then I think would make progress. And then to my colleague children, we are voices, and most times our voices go higher than we ever think. So it's important for us to be able to affirm ourselves with these laws, because we cannot always put pressure on the government. The government's not everybody. We are the government. So let's see how best to be able to empower ourselves by joining Kids Club, by, you know, actually learning about our own laws. I think that will be a stepping stone.
Do you have
for
CFN in private schools?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
we're
okay.
in private schools, and then it has been a very big number, because we're not only operating here in Freetown, we're cut across the 16 districts. So it's like a movement of force to say, okay, we need to be protected as children. So empower yourselves first, because for me that I know the law, you cannot violate my rights, because I can stand firm against it. So it is important for us to look at the smaller things and see how best we'd be able to discuss it. Roundtable discussion does not mean we have no fancy table. Roundtable discussion, we can carry team up and do circles. That's roundtable. Let's discuss our issues first and see how best our parents, the community, and the government can come in to put an end to abuse.
Mr. Minister, before you go, you may like to touch on these comments and questions. You have a few
I've seen
on
some.
Facebook. So this one is saying, Ishmael Kamara is saying, EDSA tariff is too high, and whose friend Kamara again is saying, Mr. Minister, the present new generation projects and the plans to restore the historic transmission challenges, is it a work in progress? Are the generation projects working in parallel with the transmission projects, considering the MCC Compact grant, which is still waiting for disbursement? The MCC Compact is meant for transmission restoration. Is the government considering the backdrop of the MCC Compact tied to the implementation of the tripartite agreement recommendations? Is there a plan B to buffer a scenario of a withheld MCC Compact, especially if the completion of the NAND LNG generation does not match with the MCC grant release? Another one is saying, this is Mystic from Dozak, is saying sustainability remains one of the biggest challenges in our electricity sector. Despite significant investment over the years, we continue to face serious power supply issues. As a nation, we must prioritize long-term planning, sustainable energy solutions, and efficient infrastructure development. Investing in sustainability is not just an option, it is the best path toward a reliable and resilient electricity sector.
Thank you. Before I answer these questions, I wanted to say from what you wouldn't see the relationship between what Fatim is talking about and energy, but I can see it very clearly from her. She's articulate, she's poised, and so the future for me looks bright. And I think what we all want is a Sierra Leone that's better for children. It's a Sierra Leone that's better for all of us, and we can get that through electricity, through what you said, collective responsibility, and I like that fact. And she said that government is all of us. The EDSA tariff, yes, it's high, and we hope to bring that down based upon our generation sources. The more and more renewables we get into the system, we'll be able to then actually take a look at those tariffs and bring them down eventually. The generation projects are all working in sync. We cannot just do a single generation project here and not start talking about dispatch. One of the other projects that we have, which I'm glad the other caller mentioned, the MCC. The entry into force period. It's a 2-year period since its inception. that allows us to take a look at the proposed projects to make sure that the consultants are in place. They do a lot of the background work. There are conditions precedent that we need to fulfill, and we are doing those right now. The MCC project brings a lot of money, $500 million, where we're going to do a new transmission line. We're also going to do a new dispatch center in Newton, and that dispatch center will give us the ability now to start looking at the many different sources of generation, whether we're getting power from Guinea or Liberia or Ivory Coast, or we're getting power from Respite or Bumbuna, and making sure that it's efficiently distributed at different times of the day. So the MCC is going to actually bring a lot of efficiencies into the system, and it's a work in progress, because we now have 2 years, we now have 18 months to fulfill all these entry into force requirements, and it will happen. It's not a plan, it's actually it's an institution on the ground working to make sure those projects take off. Someone made a comment about sustainability. It's all about sustainability. I mean, thermal plants are not sustainable because what happens, the costs run away from us. So what you're trying to do is to make sure that we're using renewable power that are affordable, that we can pay for, that our customers can pay for. We need to create systems that are foolproof and that you cannot steal from, and that's also sustainability. We need to create additional transparency so investors can come into Sierra Leone and invest. We need to create more power plants like the NANS plant so that we can create businesses and create the environment that businesses and corporations and manufacturing companies will come and invest and provide work for the generations that us all fogies are dreaming of for the young folks that are becoming full citizens. So, you know, even though we are talking about two different sectors, but they're very related because they are Project Sierra Leone. Project Sierra Leone is about children. Project Sierra Leone is about energy and our future.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Minister. He's Cyril Arnold Grant, the Minister of Energy, and of course, many thanks to you, Fatima Ibrahim-Kabo, the Public Relations Officer of the Children's Forum Network, for joining us this morning in our studios. Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and of course, today is Friday. When we come back, we shall go into our entertainment segments proper.
More and more people Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
So I gotta go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Can if I can say you give me this camp people in not to Indy. Today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back me money. Today, give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them with Afri money. We dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party we know this, we know
regret. I mean, now me not una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able to send money, even if you not use app, even if you not the online, directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
You're still watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on EYV television and radio. Now, for the second segment, we move over to entertainment as Ambassador Caldenero has sparked debate with his latest release titled Jacinta. Famous celebrates a major international achievement, and lead Trump's new track, Mr. Macaroni, takes over social media trends. Stay tuned for the details with Johnny, aka Big Flexer.
Hey. 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 Hey.
It's another amazing Friday, and as always, I'm excited to bring you the latest entertainment news updates right here on Wake Up Sierra Leone. I am your host of the most, Gianni, aka the Big Flexer. Now, starting off with our first interesting entertainment story. Sierra Leone's entertainment ambassador and rapper Dennis Amarature, popularly known as Caldenero, has sparked debates across Africa following the release of his diss track aimed at South Africa, titled Jacinta the Witch. The track addresses the issue of xenophobia and has generated conversations across the continent. Nevertheless, I won't say much right now. Listen to it, and I'll be right back.
So whether they feel like we like them or don't like them is irrelevant. Whether they want to be loved in South Africa really is not the issue right now.
This is the issue right now. Nelson Mandela be turning in his grave. Stephen Biko too. Blacks kicking blacks out. Say no to xenophobia. Know what I'm talking about? South Africa, what's going on, man? She talks too much, she talks too much. Somebody out there got a sense of this chick. Hating on your own kind, the worst kind. None other but Jacinta the witch. She talks too much, she talks too much. Somebody out there got a sense of this chick. Hating on your own kind, the worst kind. None other but Jacinta the witch. I'm kicking back, yo, trying to diss the country. The lavish lifestyle, they can't afford it. Screw all the crap, yo, they're all xenophobic. The land they're claiming, they don't own it. Disrespect the motherland, we can't condone it. Can't wait to come at it, that's the movement. Them Zulu boys up, that's the movement.
This track has really gone viral. While some Africans appreciate the message behind the song, others, especially some South Africans, have expressed mixed reactions, saying they find parts of it offensive. And meanwhile, back home in Sierra Leone, we also witnessed a rigid social media exchange between Cardinero and Fantasy Wiz, which we didn't like, but we loved it at some parts, you get me? Well, I think also don't die there right now, so we move. And this song definitely brought the heat and got people talking. Jacinta the Witch. Moving on, Sierra Leone music continues to make waves beyond our borders, and this time, veteran artist Famous is celebrating a major milestone. The singer was recently honored in Canada with a Lifetime Achievements Award from the Sierra Leone Association of Reading, recognizing his impact, dedication, and contribution over the years. Famous shared this proud moment with his fans and encouraged to keep pushing, believing in themselves, and staying focused on their dreams. As the celebration continues, he's heading to California this Saturday for another exciting performance of his No Pressure concert. No pressure, chi-chi. You know, I was just something. When it comes to cashing out right now and booked shows, Famous, Juzelik, and I think King Boss LJ, those three, they have like the highest book shows right now. You know, I'd imagine all them bank accounts there now. Too much money. Chill. Trending on social media, especially TikTok, is the latest release from Lil Trump titled Mr. Macaroni. Mirror, mirror of the own, the better some more. It's a song, and this song has a unique vibe that immediately caught the attention of listeners. Right now, as I enjoy this, safe enjoy right now.
Say the party not the sweet if it's one no day. It's a sweet youth party on the Saturday. Say the place have be the right to step and play. But oh yeah, no stress with the chill all day. Number 2 now 3 self can go down day. Me Ezekiel and me man for day. As you come back table we not come for play. So wait a fenced out if it's stand no day. In the bubble with the vibe and make growing sweet. I cook fine as you taste now you finger you lick. Mirror on the wall is the baddest of all. It's it tough for your song like it's on me on.
So guys, to be honest, I love how diverse the music industry continues to be. From different genres to new sounds, our new school artists are not slowing down. They keep dropping songs that connect with the Gen Z audience, and that's something we need to celebrate. You know Gen Z, you know, clock it. Now it's time to roll into the weekend and get ready to pop colors because it's TGIF, and that's all for entertainment news updates on Wake Up Sierra Leone today. A big shout out to my amazing producers Hannah Yankson, Remy Wilson, and Isa 2 and James on the deck. You know what time it is. Until next time, in between time, I've been your host with the most, Johnny, aka the Big Flexer. Back to you wonderful people in the studio.
Entertainment news. So you're still watching or listening to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Don't forget to send in your comments and ask your questions to the AYV News Facebook page. Well, next, the comedy. The Sierra Leonean comedy industry has transformed remarkably, evolving from traditional TV sketches and localized content into a thriving digital and stand-up scene. Today's creators use social media to reach global audiences while elevating comedy from a hobby to a lucrative professional career. This morning, we're going to evaluate the transformation from skits comedy to stand-up comedy, examining the successes, challenges, and discussing the way forward for the comedy industry. In the studio this morning, we have Ezekiel Kamara, comedian, Selfie, New School, and Femi Cummins, Jao Kate, is a legendary veteran comedian from One Pot Comedy.
Yes.
Old school.
We're still waiting on comedian Selfie, you know.
Yes, we're still
Selfie
expecting Selfie.
Should represent the new school comedians. But we have Jao Kate in the studio with us.
The new school is scared of the old school this morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Jao Kate. It's good to have you in the studio. Jao Kate, I mean, seeing you this morning takes me back to those days when we would run in the evening hours.
7 o'clock.
We'd rush with your chores because we have to sit down and everybody wants to watch One Pot. And if there's no light, we'll be so devastated. Take us back to...
Saturdays and Thursdays.
Yes, Saturdays and Thursdays. Take us back to those early
program comes
days.
up at Saturday, 7. And repeats on Thursdays.
Yes.
After 9 o'clock news, let's say 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it was late.
You know, during those days, there were not much entertainment. So, One Pot was the only entertainment locally. So people want to see the week by week production.
Yes.
It must have been a hard work, you know, producing an episode every week. You know, when I look back at how the technology was, you know, now I would edit, you know, a 10-15 minute, you know, story within 1 or 2 days. But back then it was mainly
edit
analog.
with your phone.
Yeah.
There are many ways to edit now.
So how was it
But
back
during
then?
those days, it was hard. You have this big camera with these big cassettes, you know, very strenuous. Yes. During our days, we do it the hard way. But for now, it's the soft way.
The question I continue to ask, in fact, is how did you build audiences then? Because now you have social media, you have Facebook, YouTube, just like that, with a clip of a finger, 1,000, 2,000 people.
We get our audience through the TV program, then at SLBC. You know, people want to see us out there. Not like now when, you know, you have lots of stand-up comedians. Every month or every week you have shows. Those days, we don't have shows, comedy shows frequently. So if they say One Pot is performing at this arena, people want to go and see us live, vis-a-vis, you know. Apart from seeing us on the TV, they want to see us man. You see?
You yourself, you know, you've transitioned to, you know, making comedy skits back in the early 2000s. You are now also involved in stand-up comedy. You know, if someone has a show or, you know, a marriage or a party, Jao Kate is one of those comedians that would say, you know, let Jao Kate MC.
So since my creation, I'm a comedian. There is a saying, some are born great, some achieve greatness. I was born as a comedian. So since I started comedy, I was doing stand-up, you know. But during those times, stand-up, people don't recognize it much. They glue to this skits, this performance, this skit performance, drama performance, you see. But we started One Pot. We started stand-up comedy, yes. And also, one of our late comedians, Wampel.
Yes.
Wampel also was doing great
stand-up comedy,
with stand-up comedy. So, because, you know, the word stand-up is doing solo performance, entertaining people, you alone, without no partner. You see, when you are emceeing a show or hosting a show as a comedian, you have to give jokes, you have to do some performance. You see, that's the stand-up.
When you guys were doing the One Pot comedy show, take us through how professional was it back then? You just talked about the period where, you know, you use those big cassette cameras. It meant that you do not have enough time to retake and remake so many scenes. You do not have time for mistakes. So how were you able to shoot different episodes during the week?
Thank God, as I've said earlier, some are born great, some achieve greatness. Most of us in the One Pot group, combined artist group, we came from theater groups.
Okay.
So we grew from theater. That's why the group was so powerful. The likes of Bamboy from Kailondo Theater, me from Tabule Theater,
Fode Balium,
Fode from Helicon Player, Sarah, Every one of us came from theater groups.
Rosaline.
Yes, Rosaline also. From Wanjama. Rosaline was the lead actor for Wanjama theater then. So you see, so that makes things easy for us then.
So who put the team together? Who put that team together?
Well, thank you
Was
for
it
that
Daniel
question.
Mossier?
Well, yes, Daniel Mossier bring us together, but one pot is two group, merge as one.
Okay.
You have the Binchimani players.
Oh, yes.
I myself, Van Boy, then Bailo, the late Bailo.
Yes, Bailo.
He was playing the fuller role and different roles. You have Stone, Rosaline.
Ogadimos.
We belong to Binchimani players. Then Sarah, Sampa, Jebes, for the Valium, they belong to, and the late Oganimos, they belong to the ambassadors. But Binchimani started comedy show with David Vandy then.
Oh, yes.
David Vandy was doing this entertainment program, musical mix. So we started with it, with David Vandy. Then ambassadors also came in. But that time, David Vandy was not around. Then Mosi was with us now. So he merged us together. So that's brings us the one pot name.
You are Mr. Cummings.
Yeah.
Many people do not know you are Mr. Cummings. Anyone who went through those period after the war, you know, watching One Pot, until now, will only remember you as Jao Kate. You've played a different character to who you are. How has it been, you know?
Well, when I started comedy, I was doing this Creole thing, imitating the Bongo Johnson, then also playing Limba role. I can play so many roles. I can imitate Liberian man, Nigeria, lots of it. But when Bailo, you know, Bailo was doing the fuller role,
yes, yes.
and I was doing Limba role. But Bailo was giving us problems. So Van Boy suggested that since I can do fuller role, let me master on that one. So they forget about Bailo. Then so that's how I became the protagonist.
And you really look, in fact, he looks like a fuller.
Because
he's
played the character for a very long
I guess
time.
that's the reason.
You know,
Nobody would guess otherwise.
It's like Mr. Bean. You see Mr. Bean now, even if
it's the characterization.
Yes,
the characterization.
Yes. But I am concerned. I want to know, you know, has Sierra Leonean comedy gotten better than it were, you know, when you guys started?
Yeah, I would say yes, because the gadgets now, you know, more sophisticated gadgets, camera, you have mics, you have good editing system, so it's getting much better. And with the coming of this social media, it's getting better.
And during your time, the batch of comedians you had relied heavily on, you know, skit making, as you've said. Now, for someone who, an OG, a legend like yourself and the others who would want to make it in today's world, you know, wherein skit has now transitioned to social media, we now have stand-up comedy, how should an OG maintain, you know, not only that popularity, but also the quality in terms of content?
Well, let me just put it in our lingual franca. They say we lepet the only time bone it's wrong. Comedy is not, acting is not like playing football. Playing football, when it's crap, that's the end of you. But comedy, the more you're growing older, the more experienced you become. So at any time, any moment, any day, we are ready for the task.
We saw the late Fode and also Sarah the Great. They transitioned very well into the movie industry after the One Pot. But again, we all know the issue with Sierra Leonean movie industry. We had Sarah with so many movies.
But the market is not there.
So that's what I want to ask. How did you make money during your days? How have been the maker? Because social media don't make money. One Pot was not making money.
Okay, by miracle, it was hard. You know, it was hard. During those days, we are not paid for what we are doing. We give our service to the SLBS then for free. The only way we get money through adverts, or we go to your business place, say we want to advertise for you in this particular episode or skit, you give us small thing. Then if you hire us to go and perform in a show, you pay us. Then along the line, the setting up of anti-corruption, they hired us to do some episode, which we gain some money from that.
That was huge,
that
right?
contract. Yeah?
That was huge.
Well, not huge. Average.
Oh, okay.
That was average, yeah. Then,
Mr. Cummins, Jaukate, people have argued that the introduction of Atunda Ayenda and the introduction of Jambo Show, the comedy show, was what perpetrated the decline of One Pot. Or is it that
Jambo Show and we started Jambo Show.
I know you
started Jambo Show
on radio
with David Vandy. Then we started Jambo Show.
So what made the One Pot comedians to
Atunda Ayenda is a different project.
Yes.
In fact, they were dealing with the war, reconciliation, etc. So we were doing visual. They were doing audio. You see? So it's a two different things.
What led to One Pot to going apart? Was it the fact that you guys were now adults?
When we started, I've been in this game for over 30 years now. Since, let me say, from 96 up till now. You know, when we started, we were agile, we were young, we eager. You know, we eager so people may know us. Growing up, we have kids now, some of us have grandchildren, some have children in the university, and things becoming more other. So we need money. We can't go for free anymore. So that's the reason. And this our country, people don't support. People don't support. People don't see the need to pour their money on entertainment. Instead, we admire other countries like Ghana, Nigeria. Say, look, they try, but you get people the way they support them. While Sierra Leone is the negative side of things. So that's why. But still, we are on it. Even last week, we performed for the National Drugs Enforcement Agency.
Did you perform as One Pot Soldiers?
Yeah, okay. One Pot Soldier is the musical group.
Oh, okay.
Me and Sarah.
Okay.
We use music and comedy, but our group is One Pot. Okay. The musical group is One Pot Soldiers. We did Junk's Close.
Yes.
Yes, Junk's Close.
And that's why I wanted to come in, because I remember the show you did at Family Kingdom.
Paddy's.
Then, yeah. It was jam-packed.
Give me the money. Give me the money. I want to buy me Junk's Close.
How was that transition from comedy to music, you and Sarah the Great?
Well. I was the pioneer. Since I was growing up, I love music, I write music, going to the theater, write folk songs. So I was into music, but not that professional way. So I bring the idea to Sarah. I told Sarah, if we come to alongside our popularity, we do music, we can boom. So we start from there.
Was there another album after that Junk's Close
album?
Yes,
Grandpa.
And why didn't you guys continue with the music? I know Sarah went also ahead, but together.
Well,
That's what we had back then.
No.
Say, now the money the money they make for Junk's
Not
Close.
so money. On man gets. We say two big man and the on man get you at. So I'm not going to agree for certain things then. So
are you still
all
friends?
my pathways. I don't have enemies. I always make friends. Ask those who know me. I'm a friendly person.
So are you still friends?
Of course.
Okay.
Let's look at the comedians we have now today. You know, the comedy industry is one that is always praised as the most united, you know, entertainment front.
Yeah,
the artists are always the beef themselves, but comedians, they are not like that. You do a comedy show today, you see all the comedians supporting one another. How has that been? Who
We don't beef. We fish.
Oh. No, fish.
Well, we have our union, the Sierra Leone Association of Comedians, which has been in existence for over 8 years now. And in the comedy field, we have respect for ourselves. The younger ones give respect to the elder ones, and the elder ones also do likewise. So that bond is between us, you know.
Have you had any issue you had settled among the younger ones? You know, there was a social media beef between I think Yemata and faculty.
Yeah. The stand-up, the Sierra Leone Association of Comedians is the parents' body. Like you have SLAG, you have Reporters Union, but they are all under SLAG. So the same for the stand-up comedians. They have their own small groups. So they are fighting for leadership.
The president of that,
but
yes.
That has been settled now.
Okay.
But Jebes is our president, national president for the Sierra Leone Association of Comedians, and I am the PRO. Yemata is the secretary general. And Desmond Benya is also an advisor, and is representing us at the board of Caudinero, the entertainment board. He's representing us there. So we don't have issue.
You are someone who has done it all. You've done skit making in the early 2000s. You've done music.
And now I'm into live band performance. I'm a full
social media
package entertainer. So no doubt.
Which requires more talent? Is it music?
I also play football.
We know where the McDonald's Street. So which requires more talent? Because today I can just use my phone, do 1, 2 skits. If it's funny, I think I am a comedian. But which requires more talent in today's world if a comedian wants to survive?
Well, you should be ready to learn from us who has been in the game. There is more you can learn for you to grow and make that mark. You know, no one is too big or too small to learn. You learn every day. You have to learn. You are doing comedy, yes, it's fine. You go out there, you make people laugh, but there is something you need to know. You know, there is lots and lots to learn.
Now, if you look around the world, comedy is something that is particular but also universal. If you listen to a comedian from Nigeria, you will enjoy and laugh to the jokes. In Sierra Leone, before the age of social media, the one-pot comedy was like the template of how comedians should be. You know, that the owner, they rub the chalk, how on dress. Are we still maintaining those culture, or social media don't say no, not dress so, not this?
No. The only thing we stop is the painting. You know, Jaukat is natural now. You see my gray hair, yes. So don't need it. Oh, dress same. I dress my yonto and my full address. Jebel also dress is Van Boy dress, the Mendeban dress. So that is our tradition. You know, that's our symbol. We don't have to change it to. We still maintain it.
What would you say would be the biggest obstacles to comedians achieving the greater success that we see others in Nigeria and other countries achieving? What is the obstacle for Sierra Leonean comedians?
Well, one, the market, the promotion. Because Nigeria, they are promoting their comedians. You have big business entities promoting their comedians when they have events. But I don't know the problem for us Sierra Leoneans. Even us, the legends, if we write projects to these companies, they turn us down. I don't know the problem.
We've seen certain businesses, for example, like AfriCell or Wakeup Commercial Bank, they would take a comedian. For example, Kindo is a brand ambassador for Wakeup Commercial Bank. AfriCell, Yemas and others. But how should comedians ensure that they are not only marketable on social media, but also to attract the investment of the corporate bodies that we have?
Yeah.
So you will get your markets now.
All luck are not the same. You can try your best, package yourself, do well. But if you are not in the right book of those companies, they will not get up to you. What do you don't do? In this country, our whole they make the biggest award that this country. Any year, we go perform for them.
They never go now.
They forget for give award. Can you imagine? They focus on music. Now one day we have tell them to, but and it's come last time, he give we award at State House. We all are innocent. So you don't see it, and so no more at the game.
This is shocking to me. So throughout
we go perform every year for them. Then they forget for give award. Just imagine then.
So there wasn't
the best comedy group, non-entertainment. Nothing. So tell God thinking how things have changed. Now they are recognizing comedians. Giving them a role.
As we look to the way forward, what should Sierra Leoneans do to encourage comedians and also to invest in the comedy industry?
The comedy industry is just like any other profession, like journalists, doctor, lawyers. We are stressed doctors. And people should recognize us and give us support for us to thrive. They should support us financially, morally, any way possible, any means possible. They should support us.
Will the Sierra Leone Association of Comedians think about having a yearly national festival? Like they will get East versus West, so they get, then musical shows there. Are you guys thinking about that?
Yes.
Every year.
If we have the support, we can do that. Let's say like comedy festival. Comedy gets comedians from all around the provinces, then gets one or two from the sub-region, doing them. But that takes money. We don't have the resource to do that. But if any good Sierra Leonean can come on board and give us the support, we're ready to do that. We have the human resource.
And finally, as we close, what would be your message to children or young people who are watching you, who are desirous into becoming comedians? What would be your message to them as someone who's been in the comedy industry for over 30 years?
Well, focus. Don't get the thoughts saying comedians are dropouts. No, we have graduates, we have master's holders, we have PhD holders who are comedians. So focus, study, and educate yourself, because comedy is an intelligent job. Comedians, we are fast thinker. So if you don't educate yourself, how can you think fast and create? And comedy is creative arts, you see. So focus, stay out of drugs.
Are we going to expect any show from you this year?
Well, by the grace of God, let's keep fingers across. God can do anything.
Right, and thank you very much, Mr. Cummins, for joining us this morning. I'm afraid this is where we'll end today's edition of Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say thanks to our sponsors. We say thanks to Wakeup Commercial Bank and our other advertisers of this program. And to our audience, we appreciate your time for joining us this morning. Until we meet again next week, I am Bokari Matia.
And I am Alimatu Judge. Please stay tuned to AYV throughout the day as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again on Monday, take care of yourself. Remember to show kindness always and have a
and they should join us in McKinney.
Yes. For the fire burn?
Yes, for the for Sludge.
Afternoon is late.